Now at 6, breaking overnight lockdown in Oconomowoc.
Police are calling it a tactical situation.
Our Kim Shine has been following the situation since it started. She'll join us live with the latest from police in just a moment.
You're watching the CBS 58 Morning News.
Good morning to you, 6 a.m. here on Wednesday, March 17th. Even though it is St. Patrick's Day, the flame is still blue. I think today, maybe it should be green. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Kirchhoff.
And I'm Pauline Lee. We hope you're having a great start to your morning. We'll get to Kim and that breaking news of the lockdown in Oconomowoc in just a minute.
Back to the breaking news we're following from Oconomowoc this morning. A tactical situation at the Roundy's distribution warehouse.
Yeah, the center is located off I-94. That's near Delafield Road and Blue Ribbon Boulevard. CBS 58's Kim Shine, she's live in that area right now. And Kim, we've been following this story for several hours so far this morning. Kim, what do you know so far?
We have, Pauline, we've been following this until actually we had crews on scene about the 2 o'clock hour. And right now we are about a mile and a half away, about 4 minutes from the area that you just mentioned at the Farm Fleet. This is the media staging center, and this is where police have pushed us back. In the 5:30 hour, we did get a little bit closer, and take a look at the VO. It'll show you some of what we saw about 30 minutes ago and when we were actually on the scene earlier this morning. Now, yes, as police have told us, this Roundy's distribution center, it is on lockdown. We are not exactly sure just yet. They haven't told us why. We do not know if it's employee related or what it has to do with this specific community. We're still working to figure that part out, but we do know that several departments, including Oconomowoc Police and the sheriff, they are here. Police do tell us, though, that if you have not been notified, this area should be safe. If you are, if you live around this area, if they haven't contacted you, you should be okay. This may just be an isolated incident in this area. I will say that it is around the Aurora Medical Center and also the Harley Davidson shop that's there. But take a listen as police tell you which areas to avoid, at least at this hour.
Right now, I would avoid Highway 67 south of 94 and Delafield Road.
Now, when we were at the scene just a few moments ago, again, that area was blocked off by a lot of squad cars. If you do go around there, they will turn you around. But I want to give you some insight on just that facility that's there. It's 1.1 million square feet. It opened in 2005. It's one of two Roundy's distribution centers here in Wisconsin, and it's part of the larger Kroger company. Just some details to let you know what police are kind of dealing with here as we learn more about what they're doing and what actually happened overnight into this morning. Here in Oconomowoc, Kim Shine, CBS 58 News.
A huge facility that's responsible for all of its Wisconsin and Illinois chain stores, and we'll continue to follow that story closely. Kim, thank you very much. Stay with us. We're here all morning. We'll follow that breaking news. We'll bring you the latest on air and online at CBS58.com.
Here's the latest in Wisconsin's vaccination efforts this morning. Nearly 22% of people in Wisconsin have now gotten their first vaccine. For people 65 and older, that's nearly 69%. More than 12.5% of all people statewide are now fully vaccinated. And the state is moving up its vaccine eligibility for nearly 2 million new people.
Yeah, definitely good news this morning. The next phase will start on Monday instead of the end of the month. People 16 and older with pre-existing conditions such as cancer, diabetes, asthma can get a shot. Now, officials say that it's also possible that the state could open up vaccinations to everyone before May 1st. The announcement comes as Wisconsin continues to lead the nation in administering vaccines. Also starting on Monday, anyone 18 and up living in 10 specific Milwaukee zip codes will be eligible to get vaccinated. The focus is to try and get more underserved communities access to that vaccine. Now, those zip codes, they include 53204, 05, 06, 09, 15, 16, 18, 23, 24, and 33. That's a lot to remember, so just head to our website if you need to see those again. This is a new mobile vaccination program focused on racial inequities, as data shows a significant disparity in equal vaccination distribution in Milwaukee County.
The Milwaukee School Board will soon take their final vote on whether kids will return to in-person class throughout April, but teachers are not yet on board. The working MPS plan calls to bring students back in 3 waves throughout next month. The first wave of students comes April 12th. The Milwaukee School Board tells CBS 58 they believe MPS teachers can all be vaccinated by then. The vote to finalize the plan comes next Tuesday, but the Milwaukee Teachers Union says they want a more comprehensive return plan from the administration.
We also have real concerns about air quality and number of air exchanges in classrooms. And we have real concerns about whether or not all of the windows in classrooms are operational.
I'm going to be asking the board and pushing the board, to agree to we have to move forward.
The board is surveying parents on if they want their children to return to in-class learning, saying there will be safe options either way. MPS is also working on a plan to increase summer classes to make up for some time lost.
Looking ahead, the town of Erin's annual St. Patrick's Day Parade is back this year after being canceled last year because of COVID. This year, safety measures will be in place. People are asked to wear masks as they gather for the parade. Now, this year's route, it's also being extended to give people a chance to spread out and maintain their social distancing. The parade is set to kick off at 11 o'clock this morning at Highway K and Log House Road.
Meanwhile, Milwaukee's Polish Fest is the latest lakefront festival to cancel its annual event. The Polish Heritage Alliance says their three-day festival won't be happening this June. Officials say everything was on track, but the timing wasn't right. But hold on to your tickets if you have them. Organizers say they will still be honored when the festival returns. You can find the latest case numbers, vaccination rates, and more on our website, CBS58.com. You can find that all right at your fingertips.
6:07 this morning, New York police are adding more officers to Asian communities after a series of shootings in Atlanta, which could have been directed towards the Asian community. A 21-year-old Georgia man is now in jail this morning for those shootings. Megan Reisdad, she's joining us with the latest as the investigators are looking into if this was a racially motivated incident.
8 people were killed in shootings at 3 different spas. The Cherokee County Sheriff believes the 21-year-old Robert Aaron Long shot 5 people, killing 4 at Young's Asian Massage. The niece of the sole survivor spoke about that shooting.
We never know when we're at the wrong place at the wrong time, because this was so all of a sudden, and it was just like a lot of things racing through my head.
30 miles south, Atlanta police say it is extremely likely Long is also the suspect, who then killed 4 more people at 2 other spas. Long was taken into custody after a manhunt that ended 150 miles south of Atlanta. 6 of the 8 dead are Asian. Investigators have not said if the attacks were racially motivated.
Nothing's going to be ruled out. We're conducting a multiple homicide investigation. So wherever the evidence leads us, that's where the investigators will go.
The advocacy group Stop Asian American Pacific Islander Hate has recorded more than 3,000 incidents directed at Asian Americans since the start of this coronavirus pandemic.
All right, Megan, thank you. Tens of thousands of people are making the dangerous journey to the United States-Mexico border. New this morning, President Joe Biden has a message for them. Stay at home.
I can say quite clearly, don't come, and we're in the process of getting set up. Don't leave your town or city or community.
Now, most families and adults are being sent back, but often children are crossing by themselves. Thousands are here, and there's massive overcrowding. Starting today, the administration will use a Dallas Convention Center to shelter migrant teenage boys. Republicans are blaming President Biden for the situation. Biden administration says issues like devastation in Central America from hurricanes and the pandemic are worsening conditions for people trying to escape. Well, still to come, the Wisconsin Badgers are on lockdown before hitting the court later this week. The reason they could have an advantage playing in Indiana.
And celebrating St. Patrick's Day, a live look at the Milwaukee Trinity Irish Dancers, the way they're ringing in the holiday this morning.
And we want to get back to the breaking news that we told you about at the top of this newscast. The Roundy's distribution warehouse in Oconomowoc is on lockdown this morning after a tactical situation overnight. This is what the scene looked like overnight near Delafield Road and Blue Ribbon Boulevard. Our crews, they are there. They are working to gather more information. We're talking about a 1.2 million square foot facility, so that is a lot of space to cover and to search, and that takes time for the investigators. So we'll bring you those details as we learn more as they come in.
And we're following more breaking news right now. The Milwaukee County Medical Examiner has been called to the area of 92nd and Townsend on Milwaukee's north side. If the ME is there, that means at least one person is dead. Milwaukee police confirm they are on scene investigating, but would not release any other details about what happened. We are hearing reports of a possible chase and shooting in that area, but police have not confirmed that information. We're working to learn if this may be related to the situation in Oconomowoc. We will keep you updated.
To sports now, the Badgers remain in isolation this morning in Indianapolis before their first practice tomorrow.
One twist with the tournament taking place entirely in Indiana. Some teams will play in familiar surroundings. The Badgers are one of those teams. Their opening game is at Mackey Arena, home to Big Ten foe Purdue. Wisconsin played in that building just 2 weeks ago. This time they'll be going against North Carolina, but they know their way around that building.
It definitely is nice to be able to have played there before, have the familiarity with the gym, with the rims, depth perception, all that kind of stuff. And it's definitely unique, considering, the circumstances we're in, to actually be able to play at a place like Purdue being from the Big Ten. UNC is a good team, so regardless of how comfortable we are playing at Mackey, we still got to make sure we're prepared for UNC.
The 9th seed Badgers take on 8th seed North Carolina Friday. Tip-off 6:10 right here on CBS 58.
Well, playing games get underway tomorrow night, with the entire tournament again being played in several Indiana arenas. For the most part, for the most of the arenas, safety protocols and fans are new. But Megan joins us again. There is one college, though, that's been kind of pioneering this COVID fan experience.
Butler's historic Hinkle Field House, is the only host college to allow fans during the regular season. For more than 80 years, the Field House has experienced history, but it's been a while since March Madness has been in the building.
We've only hosted NCAA tournament games here once. It was 1940.
Butler's associate athletic director says many of the protocols in place for Bulldog games will carry over to the NCAA tournament. Capacity was cut, masks were required at all times. Seating arrangements were done in pods. They also have a mobile grab-and-go food option. One thing different, having multiple games in one day, but the NCAA did cut down on games per day this year.
Everyone from the teams to the fans to the media members will exit, and then we have a group that will come through and sanitize not only the playing surface but also the locker rooms.
Doors at Hinkle Field House will open Friday morning at 11 for the game between Florida and Virginia Tech. That kickoff is at CBS 58's coverage of the tournament will start on Friday.
Still to come, a resolution honoring Rush Limbaugh is moving through the State House. The reason Democratic lawmakers are especially upset by this bill.
Time right now is 6:18. Here's some of the top stories we're following on this Wednesday morning. The Roundy's distribution warehouse in Oconomowoc is on lockdown this morning after a tactical situation overnight. This is video from the scene we saw overnight near Delafield Road and Blue Ribbon Boulevard. Our crew is on that scene right now working to gather more information, and we will bring you any new details we get as soon as they come in.
Well, the Milwaukee VA Medical Center is offering the COVID-19 vaccination to all enrolled veterans, regardless of the age. In addition to offering vaccine hours, the VA is extending vaccine clinic hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8 in the morning until 7 at night. That's starting on March 23rd.
Mississippi has lifted its COVID-19 vaccine age restrictions, becoming the second state after Alaska to expand access to all adults. More than 72 million Americans have received at least one coronavirus vaccine dose, and more than 39 million are now fully vaccinated.
The Wisconsin Assembly will take up a resolution to honor radio host Rush Limbaugh today.
The resolution passed along party lines in the state Senate. Limbaugh, who died last month of cancer, was praised by Republicans for his work promoting conservative ideas. Democrats said the resolution was eye-opening to the disparities in the state after it passed the Senate 18-12.
I think it's a reflection of the racial challenges that exist in Wisconsin, why we have some of the most segregated cities in the nation. I think it is reflective of the disparities that exist for people of color and especially for Black people.
The resolution was widely opposed by Democrats after Republicans blocked their effort to recognize Black History Month weeks ago.
Good morning, guys. We are at the Trinity Academy of Irish Dance. It's quiet now, but believe me, it won't be in a few minutes. We'll take you here in just a little bit for some Irish dancing.
It's 6:26. Welcome back, everyone. St. Patrick's Day celebrations are getting underway this morning.
The Trinity Irish dancers will be performing throughout the area today. And CBS 58's Emily Thornton joins us live from their Milwaukee studios with a little preview. Hey, Emily. Next at 6:30, we continue to follow our breaking news in Oconomowoc. A Roundy's distribution warehouse put on lockdown for a tactical situation. The latest we're learning from the scene.
The CBS 58 Morning News continues.
Good morning, everyone. It is 6:31. Today is Wednesday, March 17th. Here are some of the big stories we're following today.
Breaking news this morning, a tactical situation at the Roundy's plant in Oconomowoc. The latest from police here on the scene.
Bringing vaccines to you. The pharmacy starting at-home visits for coronavirus vaccine.
Shame on us if we don't learn lessons.
Breakthroughs from the pandemic, the advancements we've made in a trying year.
This is like a thumb in the horizon sticking up, especially when they light this thing.
A beacon to basketball fans, the massive March Madness bracket in Indianapolis. Yeah, just in case if you're wondering how that tournament's going, just look up.
Yeah, you can probably see it from here, actually.
Exactly. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Pauline Lee.
And I'm Mike Kirkup.
We continue to follow breaking news this morning, a tactical situation at the Roundy's distribution warehouse in Oconomowoc.
The plant is on lockdown right now, and it's where we find our Kim Shine this morning. Kim, what can you tell us?
Well, guys, we have moved once again to try and get just a little bit closer to the scene. We're on the opposite side of where we were in the 5:30 half hour. But if I step out of the way, you can see that we are still close enough to see the road being blocked off and then some of the lights, the police lights in the distance. We are off 67th and Delafield, and this area traffic is still going by, so if you need to get through this area, they are diverting traffic different ways here, but all around closer near the Harley-Davidson shop and also near the facility itself, that area specifically is closed. This is also near the Aurora Medical Center, and people are being diverted through that campus to get around this as well. We are still working to get information from police. They haven't told us much besides the fact that this is, again, a tactical situation, an active situation, but who exactly it involves, that is something we're still working to figure out. Several departments on scene still this morning, and police told us that if they have not contacted you directly, then you should be safe. If you are in this area, if they have not contacted you, you should be okay. Again, about this facility, told you a little bit about this in the first half hour of this newscast. The facility is 1.1 million square feet. It's part of the larger Kroger company, and so I know police, they are on scene. We don't know if they're inside, but that's a lot of area that they have to cover to figure out exactly what happened. And when we do get details, we'll go back to the media staging center in a few, and maybe they will give us some updates, and we can get those to you as soon as possible. Here in Oconomowoc, Kim Shine, CBS 58 News.
Kim, thank you. We'll continue to follow this breaking news throughout the morning. We'll have the latest on air and online at CBS58.com and on our social media pages. We are following more breaking news right now as well. The Milwaukee County Medical Examiner has been called to the area of 92nd and Townsend on Milwaukee's north side. If the ME is there, that means at least one person is dead. This is a live look at the scene right now. Milwaukee police confirm they are on scene. We see them there. They are investigating, but they would not release any other details about what happened. There you see a car right there in a lawn, pretty close to a house. We are hearing reports of a possible chase and shooting in that area. Police have not confirmed that information either. We are working to learn if this situation may be related to whatever is happening in Oconomowoc. We will keep you updated.
It's 6:35. Let's turn to our coronavirus pandemic coverage. One major issue for the state is getting the vaccine to underserved communities. Right now, more than 20.5% of those getting one vaccine dose are white. That drops to less than 8% when it comes to black people. Only 3.5% are fully vaccinated people. They identify as black. More than 12% are white. The disparity is part of the reason for a new program to end the racial disparities in delivering the COVID-19 vaccines.
A mobile vaccination unit will start making its rounds Monday. It's been made possible because FEMA workers are now covering the vaccine program at the Wisconsin Center. So starting Monday, anyone 18 and up living in 10 Milwaukee zip codes will be eligible to get vaccinated.
We value the state for working with us to address the dramatic disparities we're experiencing locally, particularly when it comes down to equitable vaccine distribution.
For community sites are expected to increase to 2,700 next week, primarily focused on shelters. The mobile vaccinations will be in these zip codes. We have them on our website, but here they are: 53204, 05, 06, 09, 15, 16, 18, 23, 24, and 530-233. Again, that's all on our website, CBS58.com.
Well, if you can't go to one of the places giving out the COVID vaccine, the shot can actually come to you. Starting next week, Veltopia Pharmacy in Thiensville will offer mobile vaccination clinics to anyone who can't leave their home or their bed. Their owner tells us that the customers started requesting this service, so he decided to make it happen. He's willing to travel in Ozaukee or Milwaukee counties, possibly further if he gets requests.
People who are bedbound, they have families, they have friends, they want to visit them, and they do not want to just kind of infect them.
Well, the cost for the service, it's $50. That covers the transportation as well as some other costs. But the owner says if you can't pay that, contact him and he'll work something out.
We have seen a lot of vaccine appointment availability. We have links to how to get some of those on our Facebook page, CBS 58. But we also want to remind you that the state has a vaccine assistance hotline. You can call the number right there on your screen, 844-684-1064, with any questions you might have about the vaccines, where they're available, and the vaccine registry.
Well, the pandemic has hit the healthcare industry hard, no doubt, over the past year. Doctors have seen unprecedented challenges, but also important medical breakthroughs. Megan, she's joining us again with some of the bright spots in the medical advancements that could lie ahead.
As we reflect back, doctors say one of the greatest accomplishments since the pandemic started is the rapid development of COVID-19 vaccines.
The usual time frame for developing a vaccine and getting approval in the U.S. is on the order of 12 years.
It's similar to putting a man on the moon, the speed by which that occurred without cutting corners and being safe and effective.
The mRNA technology used in COVID-19 vaccines by Pfizer and Moderna has been around since the 90s, but this pandemic has created the possibility of now using mRNA to create vaccines for other diseases. The pandemic has also taught doctors to work together, both globally and locally.
The health systems in southeastern Wisconsin meet regularly now to collaborate in an unprecedented and actually more effective way than we've ever done before.
Tremendous wealth of experience and knowledge that's been shared across the world, and a handful of medications that now prove to be effective.
In 1 year's time, hospitals are seeing a reduction in death rates. Dr. Raymond says early on the mortality rate was more than 15%, and now in the U.S. it's under 2%. Doctors say the pandemic has also highlighted the need to take care of racial, economic, and ethnic disparities in healthcare.
Still to come, Lakefront Brewery is honoring a former team member, the way they're giving back after his death with a new beer, and how you can help support them.
Welcome back to 642. We want to get you right back to breaking news we've been talking about since the top of the newscast. The Roundy's distribution warehouse in Oconomowoc, it's on lockdown this morning after a tactical situation overnight. Here's some of the video we've gathered at the scene overnight. It's near Delafield Road and Blue Ribbon Boulevard in Oconomowoc. Our crew is working to gather some more information. We have very few details right now from police, but as soon as they give us an update, we'll bring those details to you on air.
And more breaking news to tell you about this morning. The Milwaukee County Medical Examiner has been called to the area of 92nd and Townsend. That's on Milwaukee's north side. This is a live look at the scene there. The ME is there. That means at least one person is dead. And the Milwaukee police, they confirmed they're investigating, but they wouldn't release any other details about what's happening there right now. So as you can see right there, our crews at the scene, they're showing you that car that looks to be maybe in the front lawn of a home or so. And we're also hearing reports of a possible chase and a shooting in that area, but police have not confirmed that information. Our crew on the scene, they also tell us just around the corner, Waukesha County Sheriff's deputies are also there at the scene, and we're still working to learn if this may be related to that situation in Oconomowoc. We'll follow all of this. We'll bring you the latest both on air and online, as well as our social media pages. Just search CBS58.com. Time right now is 6:43 on your Wednesday morning. Happy St. Patrick's Day, Michael.
Yeah, thank you, Pauline, to you and everybody out there. Top of the morning to you, everybody. So we're talking about a couple of things here. We're going to focus on perhaps some wintry mix a little bit later on today, and then some howling winds coming in from the north and east tomorrow. That's going to be a big, big weather headline. Temperatures mainly in the 30s throughout the day. With the wind, it will feel colder, obviously. The rain comes in into the afternoon, so grab the umbrellas. And again, if you're heading out partying with St. Patrick's Day plans, please don't drink and drive. Overnight, more 30s, some wintry mix perhaps late this evening into the overnight, and then we sit and wait for a whole bunch of wind. Temperatures tomorrow are around 40 as well, but 60 on the horizon for part of the weekend. I'll tell you more at the forecast coming up.
Thank you, Michael. Milwaukee's Lakefront Brewery is honoring the memory of one of their own with a new beer. Alexander Kluth was the second was the warehouse manager for the distribution center for 4.5 years. Well, he died in September of last year to cancer. And this year, the brewery is releasing Al's My Turn American Stout. The My Turn series celebrates employees and are released quarterly. Lakefront says the beer reflects the man Al was, well-balanced, flavorful, but doesn't get out of line with bold statements. The brewery will donate $1 for every 6-pack sold to the American Cancer Society.
More testimony is expected today in the trial against the teen accused of killing a Kenosha teenager, his ex-girlfriend, and the attempted murder of her mother. The mother of the teenage girl took the stand and described the shooting in May 2019.
I stopped in my doorway and I looked at him and I said, "Oh my God, Mark, please." I said, "Please, you don't have to do this." And he looked at me and he said, "Yes, I do."
That emotional statement there coming during the second day of Martise Fuller's murder trial. Stephanie Juga told jurors that the teen had become increasingly hostile towards her daughter, Kaylee, after the two broke up in early 2019. Fuller has pleaded not guilty to the charges. His trial continues today.
An announcer's racial slur went viral as an Oklahoma team took a knee during the national anthem. The team's response as they now celebrate a state title.
Welcome back. Well, you may have seen that story about the basketball announcer using the N-word during a broadcast.
New this morning, the girls on the Oklahoma basketball team, high school basketball team, are now state champions. Megan has more on their response to this announcer and the reason they took a knee.
So the Norman High School girls basketball squad had taken a knee during the national anthem all season. This was in an effort to bring awareness to racism and social injustice. An open mic Thursday captured announcer Matt Rowan berate them with a racial slur.
That just goes to prove the point that this is why we took a knee.
The network that broadcasts this game says it cut ties with the crew involved. Rowan has apologized, blaming the rant on his diabetes, writing, "I would not believe I would have made such horrible statements absent my sugar spiking." The team is now being represented by civil rights attorneys. While the girls basketball team took home the state title, they say they are fighting for something a lot bigger.
We just want change within our community, our state, and our country. And that change is going to start with people holding other people accountable.
Oklahoma Secondary Schools Activities Association, which oversaw the basketball tournament, has released an apology as well. They also cut ties with Rowan, saying this kind of behavior will never be tolerated.
It's 6:55. Here's a recap of some of the morning's big stories in News on the Go. We start with the breaking news we've been following all morning from Oconomowoc. Tactical situation at the Roundy's distribution warehouse. CBS 58's Kim Shine is live in that area right now with what we know. Kim?
We're at Highway 67 and Delafield, this area. Some roads are back open, but if you're going into the facility campus, that spot is not open to the public at this time. We're still waiting for more updates from police. We don't know exactly what happened there, but police have told us it's an active situation. This is near the Harley-Davidson shop and the Aurora Medical Center campus. Again, police are on scene. They have been for a number of hours, and we will keep you updated as soon as we learn more information about what happened here overnight and into the morning. From Oconomowoc, Kim Shine, CBS 58 News.
Kim, thank you. We're also working to learn if a heavy police response to a deadly situation on Milwaukee's north side is related to that situation in Oconomowoc. This is a live look at the scene near 92nd and Townsend right now. We know the Milwaukee County Medical Examiner has been called to this area, so we know at least one person has died. We are hearing reports of a possible chase and shooting. We also see Waukesha County Sheriff's deputies there. Police have not confirmed the chase and shooting yet or any relation to what happened in Oconomowoc.
Well, the state is moving up its vaccination eligibility for nearly 2 million people. The next phase will start on Monday, and instead of the end of the month, people 16 and older with pre-existing conditions such as cancer, diabetes, and asthma can get a shot. State officials say it's also possible that the state could open up vaccinations to everyone before May 1st. That's your News on the Go.